Welcome to Miracle Moment. This is the new mommy season that will absolutely rock your world, up-level your mama game, and skyrocket your business. I'm your host, Ray Irelan, and brand new mama. Like every new mama out there, I enjoyed those quiet, precious moments of those first few months. But after that, there was this stirring in my heart to lean back into business and activate my entrepreneurial brain. I went into a business partnership with a financially failing podcast production company and turned it into a multi-six-figure production house with over 65 million downloads in just a few months. It's been a roller coaster, and I've learned some unforgettable lessons. As a mamapreneur, I know how challenging it can be to balance work, family, and self-care and still see the everyday miracles. So each week, I'll share stories of women who have defied the odds to pursue their dreams of motherhood while also building successful businesses. This show will open your eyes so you can see the miracles around you. With more awareness, more miracles will show up. Light a fire in your soul, mamas. You deserve it. In this episode, I share some of my favorite tools, tips, and practices for clearing out an environment and intentionally designing it so that way you can create power for the next transition that your life is calling you forward into. You're going to love it. Hey everyone, I want to come on here and share about the power of setting up an environment for success. So as I was preparing and thinking about what I wanted to share with you all, I was going back into my memory during my time of preparing for the birth process with Rafa. And for those of you to know my story a little bit more, we moved into our new home a month before giving birth. It was total chaos, but it was also completely divine because we ended up finding our dream beach house, just walking distance from the beach in Acadia, Carlsbad, California. And we were so excited and also so overwhelmed because moving into a house is a whole feat, let alone being 8 months pregnant while doing it. Anyways, needless to say, I was full on in the nesting phase. And I basically put everything to the side except for let me nest in this home, let me get it ready and prepare. That way my baby can arrive to a beautiful home. And so during that journey, I dove deep into Feng Shui, into interior design, the energetics of a home. And I really took the time to learn and be intentional about setting up my environment. And I really think this helped me through the birth itself, also through the journey of healing and recovery. And as I was preparing and remembering all of the things that I did to set my environment up for success, I also was thinking, this is what I do at the time of every launch, every time I start a new business. It always comes from having this really intentionally designed and cleaned, clear space in my environment. So I think it's so cool because wherever you're at, whether you're a new mom, an aspiring mom, you're still crushing your business, or maybe you're pregnant or you have kids, I think the environment is something that is going to be a constant that we can always continue to up level and grow in as we grow. So the cool thing is sometimes I think we need to become this person to then have the home. We need to become successful, then we get the home. But with what I want to talk about today is actually the opposite. It's about taking your home that you're living in and up-leveling it so that way you can grow in it. It's like the example of if you're a carrot, you can be a carrot by itself and it'll be crunchy and still taste delicious, or you can put a carrot in some stew and it's going to get all soft and the flavors. You are like that carrot. What environment you're going to put yourself in, you're going to absorb all of that energy, all those flavors, to say, and become anew. One thing that I really took into consideration more than ever before was when I was about to give birth, I looked at my environment, my home, as if it were my vision board. So I said, I don't just want a vision board to look at to help me manifest these next things that I'm stepping into. I actually want my entire home to be the vision board. And that's where this whole journey began for me, because I started looking at every single blank wall as if it was a blank canvas for me to write my dreams on. And from that space, I knew I could see them, I could say them out loud. And from that, I could truly live and create my most incredible dream. And so I put quotes of encouragement everywhere. You would see sticky notes on my bathroom mirror. You would see sticky notes in the kitchen. They were all over the place. And these quotes of encouragement really help, especially when I'm getting ready for the birth. It was like, I am open, I'm free, I can do hard things, and I just did it as sticky notes because I didn't want to put like physical quotes all over my home. I just wanted to write down the quotes that I needed for that next stage, for that next big transition. And I knew that they were going to be unique and different than before. So I really took the time to write out what are those unique quotes that I really want to embody, that I really want to get quick on my tongue. So that way they become my truth of my reality, the rules of my reality. I also took deep consideration around what photos I would put on the walls and where. So I've had a very nomadic life. And before this, I would not put photos on the walls in the places that I would live in. I was always renting, and I always felt like I'm just going to be here for a little bit. So why would I put holes in the walls and stuff? So I'd maybe tack some things on, but I would never properly hang pictures on the wall. This completely shifted in the last year when I was preparing in this home, because I was like, no, I'm claiming that as my home. And so of course I'm going to put photos on the wall. And this is the biggest canvas I've ever had for a vision board. Create it. So I put photos on the wall of beautiful memories to remind me of all the amazing gifts I've been given, to help me activate and step into that gratitude vision, gratitude embodiment every single day. So I put a lot of photos of family and I, our journey, of our relationship, of coming together, of getting pregnant, of travels we had done. I put photos of family, of friends, and it was so beautiful because I immediately started walking through my home, and I felt like, wow, this is my home. This isn't just a place that I'm resting my head in for a moment, but this is really a nest, a place where I can feel comfortable, I can feel loved, I can feel supported, and I can do hard things because I know I have that extra encouragement. And so I especially put these specific types of photos on the walls on the other side of places where I would sit. So for instance, across from our bed, when I would wake up in the morning, there was a whole wall of all the photos, not all of them, but a lot of photos of family and I. And that was like my relationship wall, where I got to just be reminded of how beautiful and amazing our relationship is. Then I had another wall that was of our travels. And so these two walls, as soon as I woke up in the morning, I would just open my eyes and I would see them. I also put a beautiful photo. It was a canvas image that we had taken at the beach when I was extremely pregnant, and saying, like, kissing my belly. It just felt like we were welcoming in a new baby. I blew that up on a large canvas and I put that on the wall behind my computer. So when I was working, there was really purpose and meaning of what I was going after. It wasn't just the work itself. It was actually creating this dream life for the family that I'm building. So I just took that into consideration. Where am I going to be sitting and what direction am I going to be looking at? And depending on that direction, I really wanted to make sure that I would be inspired in some sort of way. Also, in addition to that, there were some areas that I wanted to just have some clarity of thought. I just wanted it to feel beautiful. And so in those spots were maybe more planned. I would do like some hanging plants or maybe a beautiful picture or imagery of some flowers or beach, something like that, where I knew that I could actually sit and look in that direction and just feel like my mind relaxed.
Hey there, fabulous mamapreneurs. I've got something super special for you. Introducing Giggles and Growth, hilarious reflection prompts for the mamapreneur. So just picture this. You're journaling your way through prompts that have you giggling and reflecting like never before. Ever wondered what your business would say if it could talk? Or how about sharing the funniest thing your kids have ever said about your work? But here's the best part. These prompts aren't just about having a good laugh. They're an incredible investment in yourself and your journey as a mompreneur. Taking time for giggles and growth means giving yourself the gift of self-discovery, clarity, and personal growth. As you reflect on these entertaining prompts, you'll gain valuable insights into your business, your role as a mom and as an entrepreneur, and even find hidden gems of wisdom. And the cherry on top? It's absolutely free. No cost, no catch, just a joy-filled opportunity to embrace laughter while empowering yourself. So what are you waiting for? Unleash your laughter and embrace the growth with Giggles and Growth. Click the link in the show notes or visit www.rayirelan.com/giggles-and-growth to grab your copy now. Let's make your entrepreneurial journey even more fabulous. Get your Giggles and Growth freebie today, mamas. You deserve it.
It wasn't about manifesting or visioning or anything. It was actually just that charge up time, which is really important. And a lot of people, they walk into our home, and I've gotten a lot of compliments of people that say, wow, your home is so peaceful. And I'm like, I love that you pick up on that, because I really intentionally sewed that into the energy. I didn't want it to be quotes everywhere where I'm like, oh, I feel like I have to always pursue or persist something greater, which is a great quality to have. But I want my home to be a recharge, a space where it actually is also just a sanctuary where I can rest, right? Similarly to the rest that I find when I am in nature. So for me, it was bringing nature inside. It was even having crystals around, or having some pieces of coral that I had found on the beach, or some shells. All of those sort of little pieces really helped to just bring the outdoors in and that relaxed, calm energy. One interesting conversation that we had was all about the TV. Now, I love an occasional movie night, an occasional Netflix binge, especially while being sick or just needing that like internal, I call it like hoodie time, after maybe being out on tour or going to lots of events or just being very front facing as an entrepreneur. So of course we have a TV in our living room, but we talked about it for quite a while, a few weeks actually, on where we were going to put our TV. So many TVs are usually the centerpiece of the living room. And we decided we really didn't want that. We wanted more of a calming, peaceful energy. So we actually opted to have one of my mom, which if you haven't checked out her art, please do. She is literally one of the most incredible artists on the planet when it comes to just these really beautiful plein air paintings. So outdoor inspired sceneries and stuff like that. Little plug for my mom. Shout out Mama Rose. Go check her out, roseirelan.com. But we chose to get one of her big paintings, and we put that right above the fireplace. And underneath that painting, we found this beautiful wooden piece that just says imagine. And we felt like, wow, that's really what we want this home to focus on. And again, like people step into our place and it's not this crazy luxurious spot, but people walk in and they're like, oh, I just feel so good in here. And I always think, I'm like, yep, I know. We created it that way. And the TV's off to the side. And so really thinking about what you want to be spending your time on in your home as well. And what the things that you want to do more of in the front, in the centerpieces, put them so you can grab them easily. And thinking about our instruments, even when we first moved in, we had all of our instruments in cases. We were protecting them during the move. And it took us a while to actually take the instruments out. And I noticed as soon as they were taken out, and people started picking them up and playing. And I was like, oh, this is why we need to have the things that you want out. And the things that maybe you don't need all the time, like the RTD, we have that more in the side corner. So use that and take a scope of your home. If there are things that are out that you actually don't want to be using as much, or even for instance, like in my old places, I remember I would always have a computer spot like in my living room. And I'm in this spot, I was like, no, I don't want that. I want the living room to be more of a family space of connection. My computer can have its spot in the office. So there were some tweaks and adjustments that I did there. Again, continued to put more and more plants in the home. Sammy at first was like, oh my gosh, we're going to be living in a jungle. And then it was like a month after, he's like, I love living with plants. I think I actually want more. I thought that was pretty funny, coming from someone who wasn't really a plant dad before, but he learned, and we lost a few plants along the way, but we learned, and now we have beautiful plants all over our home. And that really does make a difference. It freshens the air and just brings a feeling of life and growth. So you'll always see fresh flowers, fresh plants all around our living spaces. And I really encourage everyone to do the same. Let's see. There was also, we had our money and abundance corner that we created and set up. We made sure that there were open walkways just to feel like energy can move and flow very easily. It took some time to declutter and to also get my frame of mind around decluttering. So for instance, okay, instead of even having the shoes like tucked under the bench at the front door, we're actually just going to put them in the closet. Let's get rid of things that are out, because the more things and little items, it ends up being these little items that we see, our mind actually gets filled up with those, and there's less space to just create new. Now, I'm saying this and I'm laughing at myself as a new mom, because as with our kids, there's going to be toys and things all around. Most of the time you walk into our home, it's not going to be super clean. But what I will say is we took a minimalist approach. And so there are so many baby things that you can get. And honestly, we are given so much. And at first they were all out, but then we decided, let's rotate through these things. Let's put this 90% of stuff away, and let's just take out this 10%, either for Rafa to use or to play with or whatever. And that really made a big difference. It made a big difference in cleanup time. I noticed our son, he actually enjoyed more of what he was playing with. He wasn't distracted by all the things himself. And so really taking that minimalist approach, I think, is just such a beautiful way to do life. And I think of our home as, what are we really filling it with? I want to fill it with art and instruments and space to just connect and drop deeper into self and with the people that are there with you. Maybe also pieces of elements of health and wellness. And so that approach, that has me focus on very specific things versus unintentionally filling your home with things and stuff of all sorts of things and stuff that you can buy on the internet, and Amazon can deliver it to your home in one day. It's very easy to fill. Be intentional with what you're filling it with. And this kind of goes along with it. We very intentionally set mirrors in places in the home and did not set mirrors in certain places. You can use a mirror to really reflect, but also amplify what is in the reflection. So we wanted to make sure, for instance, that we didn't have a mirror that was showing maybe like the area in which we have our mail and like bills in the kitchen, because we don't really want more random mail and bills stacked up high. So the mirrors were designed and put into places where we could look into them and we wanted to see things expand. So for instance, we actually put one in our kitchen. and we wanted to see like a bigger kitchen for our next home, for instance. So that was an interesting and also fun way to play with mirrors and the design and amplifying what is in the home. Now, of course, the other side is the decluttering, the release of things. At least once a month, we're going through the house and we're making a pile of giveaway stuff and then we're throwing stuff out. I'm doing this with my closet also once a month to go through and release the clothes that I don't want, create new space, and also just give them away, pass them forward, be in that state of abundance and of a gracious heart to just give and give freely, really. And so in that process of also releasing, one thing that I noticed was there was always like a junk drawer or a pile of papers of just like, these are the important papers that we need to go through someday. I finally took the day and I took the time to actually go through those important papers and organize them and give them their own folders. And although this is such a pregnant nesting move, it was something that really set me up for success. And so after I did the big sweep of nesting, I actually put in my calendar once a month at least to go through and like sort out, get rid of things, clean things up, organize them. So that way I wouldn't have that huge pile of things to go through later on down the line. Those are some of the things that I focused on, that I worked on, and they really help just set up a clean, clear environment. So I encourage you to try that out, to see what gets created in such a new, clean, clear environment and have fun doing it.
Hey mamas, that's a wrap for another epic episode on Miracle Moment, the new mommy season. Catch me on the internet at Ray Irelan, sharing this wild mamapreneur life. And don't forget to check out www.rayirelan.com/freebies for all the resources and support while building your soul-aligned business. Are you feeling the miracles coming your way? Stay blessed, ride this miracle vibe all day long, and remember, it's all about the journey. Catch you on the next episode.